All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Hadass Geva from Israel, and we are in one amazing call today. Oh my God, we have the Crossfire call with amazing ladies, leaders, top expansions leaders from our top markets around the world, and I am so excited for this call tonight, and I hope all of you have the same excitement as I, because you are there is an amazing things waiting for you. And please get your pen and pencils and something to write on, because you're going to get a lot of tips, a lot of value information. So don't miss it. Don't forget anything. Just write it down. And tonight we have a very special guest host, that is here with us from Canada. His name is Eddy Brenes. And Eddy started GWT 3 years ago. He is a diplomat. He came from construction background, and after 6 years of hard labor, he realized that this can't be the way his life is going to be lived. Not enough money, and clearly not enough time to enjoy life. And then he came across GWT, and he got started right away because he's seen the vision of freedom, not just for himself, but for his family too. He has a business in 15 different countries, and he is on his way to becoming GWT's youngest millionaire. Wow, wow. That is amazing. Eddy, are you here with us?
Yes, Alice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Great to have you here. Take the call.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that phenomenal edification. I truly appreciate that. And guys, I am so revved up for today's call. These calls right here are what make champions. These calls right here are what create success in your life. So if you haven't gotten a book out yet and a pen or paper, do that right now, because you are not going to want to miss what these three ladies are going to tell you, because I've got the questions that I'll be asking them right in front of me, and I can guarantee you that the majority of these questions you've been dying to get answered. So get your pen and papers out, get a coffee. If you're in Australia and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, get a coffee ready and just wake yourself up. Put some ice down your back if you need to. Do whatever you need to do to wake yourself up, because this call is going to be insane. All right, so the first lady I want to introduce to you guys comes right out of Canada, so we're going to go right to Canada. This is a lady that I personally work with, every day, and her name goes by Maria Ghadery. And Maria, she was an engineering student at the university when she joined GWT. She's now Canada's top earner in 2014, and Maria has built a team of thousands of people and has earned tens of thousands of dollars a month. And not just that, but she's also helped hundreds of people to earn 4 and 5-figure income with GWT. She's also responsible for opening up the entire European market for GWT, and she's GWT's youngest top earner, regional ambassador, who also got qualified for the insane free vacation that they went on, and she's going on another one in April. She's also part of the 10K Club and is one of the senior LCG members with the CEO himself, Ramin Mezgarlu, and was featured and spoke in many network marketing radios, seminars, magazines, and she was recognized as one of the successful young mentors in the industry, such as Business for Home, MLM Nation, ANMP events, and so much more. I could be here all day listing them. And now, through GWT, she's been able to travel the world She's a leader who works with the rest of her LCG team to train and develop the CDSE leadership group, and so on and so on. And it's been a pleasure working close with this woman because she's completely changed my life. And I could only imagine the people that work with Maria and how they've developed as a person as well. So I'd like to get Maria to share a few words. Maria, do we have you on the call?
Absolutely, Eddie. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's absolutely an honor to be on this call with these two amazing, amazing leaders from the fastest growing markets in GWT. I can't wait to learn from them. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Maria. I know that you have great golden nuggets that you're going to be sharing here tonight. So again, guys, pen, paper, get them out now if you still haven't gotten them out. So now let's take it all the way to Nigeria, one of the fastest growing markets right now. I want to introduce to you a powerhouse by the name of Kafina. Kafina is GWT's 2014 Leadership Award recipient. She's a 10K club member, and she did this in as little as 9 months of just joining the business. And now she's achieved over $10,000 in monthly income, which is phenomenal. That's a huge achievement, guys. And she's also entered the six-figure club within 17 months of being in this business. So, guys, it is possible. She's also accumulated over $100,000 in income in just less than 24 months. She's achieved regional ambassador in exactly 13 months and recently awarded the Executive Elite Award at the Nigerian Mega Summit in 2015 last year. She has personally launched 48 BDMs in over 10 countries in the world, and she's grown her team to 1,500 people, 1,500 plus people, and she's happily married to one man with adorable children. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Kafina, do we have you on the line? I'd like to hear a few words from you.
Yes, Eddie. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much. It is an honor for me to be on the call, and thank you for the wonderful edification. And I'm also looking forward to learning from the two powerful ladies as well. And I know we're going to rock tonight's call. So thank you for having me on the call tonight.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Thank you, Kafina, and I'm super excited to hear how you were able to make all of those achievements possible. And, you know, if I'm excited, I can only imagine everyone else right now across the world. So now let's take it all the way to Australia. So we've got another powerhouse lady by the name of Stacey Renata. Stacey is a full-time mother of 2 and originates from New Zealand. Her passion and drive to help others is enormous, as her vision is to help as many people get what they want, set them free from their 9-to-5 jobs, and ignite their fire to live life by their own design. Stacey is an Ambassador Challenge winner, winning up to $22,000 in cash products, bonuses, commissions, and becoming the first ambassador in Australia within her first 30 days. Wow, huge achievement right there. And her team has grown to over 400 people in almost 20 countries within 6 months, and continues to introduce this phenomenal opportunity to people on a daily basis. And I want to give Stacey some huge respect right now, because I believe in Australia it's got to be at least 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and for someone to be up and wide awake, you guys are going to hear her energy, and that's what it takes to become successful. So Stacey, do we have you on the call?
Absolutely, Eddie. I'm here, yes, and it's 4 a.m. in the morning, but you know what? I mean, I couldn't imagine myself, being in another place. I could be sleeping right now, but to be honored, to be asked to be on the call with these two powerhouses, Maria and Kafina, I'm excited, and I have my pen and paper ready to write down absolutely everything that they're going to talk about. So big props to you and Hadass for hosting our call, and let's get this party started.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Stacey. I'm super excited. Guys, again, pen, paper, get him out. You heard it yourself. You're not going to want to miss what these three ladies have got to say. So get your pens and papers out now because it's about to get started. So first question I want to ask, you guys, I'll start with Maria. We'll start over in Canada. Maria, right now, are you mostly building locally? Are you building internationally? And on top of that, what's your main resource or tool that you're using to build your team? So to give you an example, do you use a lot of social media? Do you use networking events, maybe war markets, or branding parties? So just to recap, are you mostly building locally or internationally? And what's your main resource or tool to build your team? Maria, do we have you on the line?
Yes, Eddie, great question. When I started 7 years ago, originally I started completely locally. I started literally from my warm market. I went through calling my friend and family. I went through calling my classmates, my co-workers, and I knew that these calls are just to practice, to receive, to get no, and I knew that most likely most of them going to say no, and I was okay with that. But I just wanted to let them know. So that's how I started, and then I started to go to networking events in Toronto. I started to go to meetup groups in Toronto, start to go to personal development courses and meet people and invite them to the tour, and then just go to everywhere in Toronto. Any event that was happening in Toronto, I would go and I would invite them to come. My main sources was originally after I finished my warm market, it was networking events, meetup groups, a lot of meetup groups. I remember myself and Leo, we used to go to a lot of meetup groups like breakfast events, evening events, and personal development courses and seminars. Those are the best ones because you find like-minded people. And my source to build, and then from there I started to expand internationally. After the Toronto team started to get built, they start to basically get their people from other markets into the business, and that's how we started to get into United States and then Europe. And then once United States and Europe start taking off, then I start really supporting them. And once I was in those cities to do boot camps and power tours for them, I would search for meetup groups and networking events in those cities. I would arrive a few days before. I still do the same. Arrive a few days before. I go to those networking events and meetup groups in that particular city that I'm doing the boot camp, and I would meet people and I would invite them to the tour that we're doing. And that's how I start building internationally and start having my own first generation in different countries and in different cities around the world.
Wow, phenomenal. So you didn't just go to meetup groups here in Toronto. You went to, events over in Europe and the States, you said?
Yes. They're everywhere in every city.
Wow, that's a great tip, and I could totally relate to that because going to events, you really get to meet people one-on-one instead of just building it online. So I love how you said that. That's phenomenal. Maria, thank you for that. And now let's go over to Nigeria. Kafina, how about yourself? Are you mostly building locally or internationally? And what's your main resource or tool that you use to build your business?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Eddie, for the wonderful question. Basically, there's a saying that says when you see something good, you start and share it with family and home. So when I first started with GWT, I started it from home locally because I wanted to give a lot of my people opportunity to also change their lifestyle and improve their income. So mainly, I started building locally here because as many people may not realize this, the Nigerian economy is really growing exponentially, and this has been recognized by even leading, world economies. So we have to resolve and tap into the growth opportunity to take GWT to greater heights in Nigeria. So after realizing that I can build globally as well, showing the opportunity mainly locally, I decided to build internationally too as well, especially because GWT has this efficient system that allows one to work in any part of the world, whether you're here in Nigeria or anywhere around the world, you can build a business and share the opportunities with everybody around the world. So mainly now I build locally and also internationally. Like you've seen in my little bio that I have businesses in over 10 countries right now in the world.
Awesome, awesome. And just another quick question: what tool do you use to build locally, and what tool do you use to build internationally? Because I know there's a few types of things you could do, like social media, or maybe you do local events. So
Yes.
what tools do you use?
Okay, so I use a lot of social media. Of course, GWT system has a fantastic system that allows you to also reach out to people around the globe. So social media helps me to also share the opportunity with people. We also, I also do a lot of different chat groups on BB, BlackBerry chat group, on WhatsApp chat groups where we have, different groups and meetings where we, post out information and encourage people and answer some concerns about the business and show them what they need to do to build up and grow and get to the level that we have been able to, achieve maximum success. So, and of course, the average Nigerian has a minimum school qualification of at least a university degree. So it makes it easy, equipping them when you start the business. So I also use, trainings. We have 3 meetings in a week. We meet every Tuesday, every Thursdays, and then every Saturday for the tours. And then every Friday, we do the boot camps every other week since I started GWT. And this month makes it 2 years that I'm doing GWT and back to back. That's what we do all the time. So we actually meet 4 times in a week. So apart from the tours and the boot camp trainings that we do physically, locally here, we also use social media. We use the chat groups on WhatsApp, on BlackBerry, and even Facebook Messenger. And of course, lately, I have started traveling to visit those markets. Like I was in the UK twice last year, and things like that. And hopefully this year, I am planning to, visit other new markets that I have just opened in Ireland and stuff like that. So that's what I use mostly.
Wow. Okay. So that's phenomenal. So for what I really got out of that was you do 3 tours in one week. Is that what you said?
Yes, we do 3 tours in a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. And in each tour in a week, we actually have 2 sessions. And then every Friday, we do the boot camp. So in essence, now, in a week, we meet 4 times for GWT, back to back.
So that's your secret of rapid growth then. I hope
Yes,
everyone, I hope
absolutely.
everyone wrote that down.
Absolutely.
Wow,
And
amazing.
again, Eddie, when we want to do the tours and the boot camps, we do a lot of promotions. So we promote. Remember, I said we have WhatsApp chat groups and BBM groups. So we keep posting and promoting and reminding people, even when it's just an hour to the tour or the boot camp, we go on again. If I'm not promoting, Razak is promoting. Other people in the team are promoting. 1 hour to the event, 1 hour to the tour, 1 hour get your profit in. So it's always in the faces and minds of people. So we always get the whole jam packed.
That's phenomenal. So you work as a team to promote each event. And
Yes,
okay, great. That's phenomenal because then that obviously creates a lot more exposure to your business. That's
absolutely.
that's great. Thank you so much, Kafina. Amazing golden advice right there, guys. Make sure you wrote that down. I'm even writing notes, and I'm the host tonight. And also, quick note. If you guys have any questions you would love to ask these wonderful ladies, just put it in the question box on the GoToWebinar system. And once I get towards the end of my questions, I'll start asking questions from the audience. Okay? So let's take it to Australia. Stacey, are you mostly building locally or are you building mostly internationally?
Hey Eddie, so at the moment I'm doing a bit of both, so when I actually taking it back to May, I started with asking friends who had an understanding of network marketing. So I dip in between a lot of different things because the one good thing about me is that I can time manage myself really, really well. So I organize my day to be building locally as well as internationally, as well as making sure I'm attending, networking events, as well as attending all different kinds of things, because I see, at every opportunity, I will get a number and a name. That's my goal. Every time I go outside of the house, I'm always adding to my active list. So you know, for me, I suppose one of the avenues that I use to be able to build my business is social media, and I use this avenue quite heavily. I'm faster at it, I suppose. I know it doesn't have as much of a personal thing on it, you know, like you do when you have face-to-face. But I think for social media, for me, yeah, because I'm quite efficient on most social media platforms, I can get, you know, the word out very quickly and be able to get a Skype session very quickly as well with most of the people that I connect with. So I think, you know, networking events as well as, you know, social media, going through your list and talking to your friends and family, those would probably be the first things that I'd be doing. But I like what Kafina said, you know, it's so important to have tours as well, because, you know, you have the ability to be able to round in as many people in your local area and expand your local area as quickly as possible. You know, I know that's what we're doing down here in Australia. I mean, obviously we don't have 3 or 4 tours. Oh my God, that's absolutely insane. And I want to be able to duplicate that, because, you know, um, that's why Nigeria's market is so massive, is because they're consistently hosting tours for all of their people, as well as, you know, these new guests that come along. So I think everybody should be taking note of that, you know, for Nigeria to be the fastest growing and the largest market in GWT, you've got to have consistency. So back to you, Eddy.
Awesome, yeah, and I agree with that 100%, Stacey. You know, what Kafina is doing over in Nigeria, it's phenomenal, and if you can duplicate that, that's how you're going to become a regional ambassador in, you know, as little as 9 months, and become a 10K earner in as little as, I believe it was 17 months. So it's phenomenal. And, you know, another quick question to ask you, Stacey, about how you build on social media. Do you find yourself building by manually reaching out to people, or is it more attraction marketing by posting a lot about GWT or about your personal life, and or even just personal development? How do you build internationally on social media? Just to be a little bit more precise for the audience.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand the question. Thanks for that. So it's a bit of a 70-30 thing with me. I don't do a hell of a lot of posting the opportunity within groups or even my Facebook page. I actually have a wonderful sponsor, you know, Ronan Trifon. I look up to my friend, you know, he's my mentor, he's my friend, you know, but I love the way he operates. And that's what I've sort of adapted myself. And what I mean by that is, you know, I want to be able to look for leaders. You know, I want to be able to look for people that have the same qualities as Maria, the same qualities as Kafina, same qualities as myself, yourself, Eddy, and people that are, you know, are already doing really well in the business, you know, and maybe that could be a, a, a thing that isn't a good thing for me, you know, because it might take me a bit longer. But in all honesty, I think that growing a team, you know, with fewer numbers, just like Renee does, it would benefit me a lot more, because you know, I don't know how to put it, but, you know, in social media, right, I know it's a bit harder, but I research quite a lot. You know, I don't bother about, you know, weekend wonders, you know, people that have just been in the business. Obviously, I'm looking for network marketers, but as well as people that are fashion iconics, you know, people that are fashion bloggers. Those are actually my target markets, you know. And I think doing the research behind them, you know, and being able to ask them, you know, going through a like and trust with these kind of people, you know, then you actually, that's what I find whether I can work with people rather than just, you know, going out and doing a blitz on social medias and saying, hey, you know, I've got this opportunity, you know, I'm partnered with the fastest growing fashion house out of Canada. Instead of just doing that, I actually dig a little bit deeper. And again, like I said, Eddy, it's might take me a little bit longer, but I find that's where I find my gemstones at, is taking that extra little bit of time to be able to do my research on these people, as well as building a really strong like and trust with them to be able to get them over the line. So that's what I do.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I really got that. So, guys, you know, what's really important, that's what Stacey just mentioned there, was like and trust. You know, really get that no one's going to care about what you have to say unless you build that like and trust with them. And Stacey said something that I want to touch on about, you know, just sending blasts, right? Because I believe, Stacey, you said that because you know that people won't care about you and your business unless you spent the time to actually care about what they have to say, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, people are just going to take your post for like, oh, it's just another thing. You know what I mean? You gotta, this is just another scam, or this is just another, you know, another promotion. I don't know what this is. You don't take the time and effort to be able to get to know these people and ask more questions about them, then you're not going to be able to share your opportunity with them if you're just going to be another one of the thousands or millions of people that already do that to them. Okay, do you understand?
yeah, for sure, for sure. No, no, I agree 100%. And I think people mistaken, you know, when you build online, social media, they think it's not the same as when you would talk to someone in person, right? But at the end of the day, you wouldn't go up to someone randomly and just start puking all over them about your business, right? So it's no different online when you know, you find those people that are, you know, I like how you said you find fashion icons or networkers or, you know, people that are on the same level as you or Kafina or Maria, or even myself, right? So phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Thank you so much, Stacey. Okay, so I do want to bring up, you know, Kafina and Maria to kind of add on to anything we just said. If you guys want to add on into anything, please unmute yourself and go right ahead. And if not, I can go ahead and on the next question.
Can you hear me, Eddy?
100%, Maria.
Awesome. I love what Stacy said, 100%. Like the regarding the question that, you know, is your prospect that are from social media, are they coming because you're posting stuff every day? They're gonna reach out to you, which that called passive marketing. You post the stuff on social media or on ads or on blogs, and then people reach out to you and ask you, what is it all about? You know, can I learn more about that business? That's awesome. Now, active marketing, just like Stacey said, you know, when you reach out to people and you message them and ask them and build like and trust with them. So, you know, I believe you can build this business online or offline. I mean, you could do it, I mean, from networking events, from your neighbors, from drop cards, or you could do it online, like 100% social media. You could do it. But I do not believe, personally, I do not believe that you can accomplish building a lasting income in this industry without reaching out to people. So if you think you're going to keep posting stuff on social media and people are going to reach out to you and they're going to ask you, how can I join your business? That's not going to happen. So let me just make that clear. It's not going to happen. You got to reach out to people. You really have to message them. You really have to, just like Stacey said, you got to get on Skype with them. You got to get on the phone call with them. You got to build a relationship with them. Ask them. Get to the what was that 3 words that I used yesterday in a training? Get to the core of their pain, their desire, and their need. So if you don't get them to tell you about their desires, their dreams, or their pain. They struggle with paying their bills. They struggle with not be able to get enough sleep because they have to work so many hours, or the things that they need. You have to have that conversation, but like and trust with them, so you get to the core of their pain, their need, and their desire, and then you would be able to offer them an opportunity to change their life. So, you know, to answer your question, passive marketing is amazing. It's not going to pay you right away. You post stuff in the future, might somebody, once you really build that name and that leadership name and that brand and that trust with your communities, they're going to reach out to you at some point. But your real business will be built when you reach out to people. So social media, Facebook is no different than going to a networking event. You know, if you go stand in a networking event and hold a flyer, you know, hoping people come to you and say, what is this flyer? Can I join your team? It's never going to happen. You have to go say, hi, how are you doing? What brought you here? What do you do for a living? The same thing with social media. You got to message people. You got to find those icons, fashion icons, celebrities, networkers, people with big communities. Reach out to them. Hey, how are you doing? You know, I like your pictures, I like your videos, I like your profile, and what do you do for a living? Start having that conversation with them. And at some point, once you have that, building that like and trust and that form, then you can take the conversation from Facebook to Skype, and from there you can show them the business. But again, without having a dialogue conversation, like an audio conversation, you know, social media not gonna really produce any result for you. Back to you, Eddie.
Wow, Maria, you said a lot there that I hope everyone got, because that was really golden advice to really get that, you know, you can't just expect to build, like you said, you know, you can build this online as much as you can build it offline, but you need to be able to do the same things you're going to do offline as well as online. Because I like what you said, the example of you wouldn't go to a networking event and just hold a flyer and hope that people are going to just come start talking to you, because that never works. And if you want to know how much it doesn't work, you should just try it. And for those of you that don't go to networking events, you should definitely go, because it's very rejuvenating to know that you can communicate with other people and you practice, right? It's about practicing and really communicating with other people to connect with them. So I got a question here that I really want to ask. It's for Kafina from Berlin Mohammed. It's actually on this topic, and I think it's an excellent question. So the question is, hi Kafina, in using social media to build internationally, can you please share a pitch you would use in sharing the business with a stranger or even to a potential VIP client?
Okay, thank you for the question. I actually wanted to add to what Maria mentioned about using social media, you know, saying she was mentioning that if you post your picture wearing maybe the product and think you're going to get a lead, it might not work for you and stuff like that. I also agree with Stacey, who talked about life and trust, which is something we have been practicing and training on. Just yesterday, some of our leaders just came back from Lagos, where we had organized a Nigerian boot camp, and we were talking about the life and trust. However, I feel that it works in two ways, okay? It's a 50-50 chance that you can put your picture on Facebook with some of your product. Some people can contact you and want to join your business, and at the same time, you know, some might not. And then at the same time, you can see someone on Facebook and or social media and chat them up, and still they might not even be interested to do your business. And this has happened to me personally as well. And I recall Brian's testimony, how basically this business, GWT, came to Nigeria. Brian posted just a jewelry on Facebook, and someone from, I think, California saw it and said, what's that, and things like that. So it works, you know, both ways, I think, you know. And so for social media, for example, last summer, I was in the UK, and a long-time friend of mine I haven't seen in 25 years. You know, we were in the university together, and I just saw her on Facebook, and I just said hi, and, you know, started chatting. What do you do? And I just told her what I do, and we just exchanged pleasantries, and we started from there. And then from the next day, I started talking to her about my business, this is the opportunity, and all that and all that. And that's it. In no time, she launched her mall, and she's the new market that I have been able to expand in Ireland. And so far, we have about 9 luxury consultants in Ireland doing wonderfully well already. So for me, I don't even use social media as much like before until I started GWT. So I'm still learning on how to use social media perfectly well, like some other people who are experts. But for me, you know, I post a lot of my pictures with my products on me, and I've gotten quite a good result. I've at least had 4 people who are strangers from my post that have joined my business and my team. And I also have a lot of examples as well in the team, like Abdul Razak as well, and it's working for us somehow. I guess, it just spark up that, interest in them. Oh, they see like the picture you see on the screen right now is the posh vibe. And the day I wore it, it's one of our traditional cultural attire. And of course, it looked very gorgeous with the attire. And I wore it. And if you go to the picture on my Facebook, you find out that 2 people actually commented and said, how can I join your business? I really like it. I want to, do the business. And we started private chatting, and I'm almost closing the deal. So I believe that, social media, just explain what the opportunity is, share it with them, let them know what you're doing, what they stand to benefit as when they join the company, and build for themselves and earn residual income. If they want to do the business, they will do the business. Like we say here, we tell you the opportunity, is left to you what you want to do with the opportunity.
Phenomenal. Wow. Thank you so much, Kafina. You guys just heard it. All these 3 ladies build internationally as much as they build locally. And I love how we got on the topic of social media. That's something I'm very passionate about, and I know that a lot of people have questions about it because it is a way to build massive growth in your business. And I love how all of you guys have touched, really well on how much you still need to build locally offline as much as you build internationally online, right? And I really love what Stacey said about you really got to reach out to people. I really hope you guys got that. You can't just expect someone to come up to you and ask you about your business. You really have to go and find those people. And then it's also a mixture of what Kafina said, right? You can also still post about the business. You can promote your online business, promote yourself. We have wonderful product. Promote it, promote it, promote it. And yeah, you'll have a few people that'll ask you about it. And if they're ready, they're ready. If not, put them on a follow-up list. So ladies, thank you so much for what you just shared there. I think we got a lot of people with golden nuggets ready to build this business even further. So I want to go to the next question. So we'll start with you again, Maria. When you launch a new LC, so when you launch a new luxury consultant, what do you do to build their belief, not just belief in the business, but belief in themselves? What is it? Do you have any tips, tricks? Like what type of system do you put in place for them to build that belief in themselves and the business?
Yeah, absolutely. Very good question. It is the question of duplication, right? So, and this is a question of trial and error, I want to say, and discovery for the past 7 years in the business that I've been trying so many different things. What is it that has a person be inspired and take action, and versus the other person who join and they do nothing? So there's few things that I discovered and few things that I learned actually from Australia team. They're really good at this, and Stacey can touch on that as well. But one of the things that I really got present that's very effective is to have the person really believe in their why and believe that their why, their dreams, the reason they joined this business is possible. So one of the things that I do is when I launch a new VDM, the first thing I do, I have the person to write down the 3 to 5 reasons what they want this company to do for their life. So what is it that they intend to see in the next 2-3 years that they would call a success? If they have that in their life, they would call it, oh, I have a successful GWT business. What is it in the first reason that had them to join the business? What would an extra $3,000 to $5,000 per month do for their life? So I ask the same question in different ways so they really get the question, and then I ask them to write it down. So then I introduce them to their My 5. Whether if it's on Facebook or on Skype or on email, it doesn't matter how. The matter is they get connected to their My 5. And I see there's a lot of teams, there are many teams in different corners. They do isolation. They isolate their team. This is the thing that you could do to kill your team by isolating them from their upline. Don't do it. I've done it at some point in the past 7 years, and that team is gone. They're not around anymore. So don't make the mistakes that we already made and we know it's not going to work. So connect them to the My 5, the top 5 or 6 people who are ambassadors, regional ambassadors, national ambassadors. Connect them in a My5 chat. If you're not on Facebook, send an email and CC all the upline. If you're not on email, I mean, yeah, it should be an email or Skype, but it doesn't matter. Like, connect them to their My5 and introduce the My5 to the person, introduce the person to the My5, and then I have them to write their 5 reasons why they joined GWT in that My5, in a reply in an email or whatever. Introduce that to their My5. So that's the 2 things that I do, that the welcome and the fact that they got present to their why and to their dreams, that really get them excited. And then they get to know their My5. I make sure I reinforce so much for the person to add these My5 on Facebook, to get their phone numbers, to get their emails, because I'll tell you, after 8 years in GWT, the biggest lesson I learned, if I can tell you, is that I cannot inspire everybody. Doesn't matter how good you are. You could be, Gandhi. You could be Dr. Luther King. Not everybody will be inspired by you. Not everybody will listen to you. And you are at some point going to get in trouble with some of your LCs. So if you're not connected to, if you didn't connect them to their My5, if you're the only source for them to go to and to go to for GWT, most likely at some point they're going to start seeing your faults and the problems and the issues and the weaknesses that you also have, and they're going to start not want to follow you, and because there's nobody else to follow, they're going to completely quit the business. And that's the mistake that I see over and over people are making, and I've made that mistake as well. So don't do it, because once you get in trouble with your LC, with your team members, once they start seeing your weaknesses, they start seeing your faults, your defaults, at least they're not going to give up on the company because you're making mistakes. They're going to see there's 5 more people who are amazing people. And one of those 5, if not all of them, your LC and the team will be inspired by. So they're still going to stick around and work with that person and make you money. So that's one of the main things that I do, and I really learned that the more you grow, the more you realize that you cannot inspire everyone. It's impossible. You need to ask for help. You need to use your upline. So those are the 2 things that I do first. Their why, and then connecting them to their My5, and then adding them to all the GWT groups to get inspired by the community. Again, I'm a very small resource to be able to help and support and inspire my team, but the whole community of GWT family, all the leadership, all the leaders, even if they're not in my team, now everybody else, the community can support that team and that member to grow and to get inspired and to give the commitment. So that's the next thing that I do. Then when it comes to the member itself, I connect them to the system. So the system is basically connecting them, showing them how the 1, 2, 3, 4 system works, and then we give them the approach script. But before even that, I ask them, after they write their why, I ask them to write down their list of anywhere from 50 to 250 people. So once they come back with the list, then I give them the script, and then I connect them to next 30 days training and launchpad. So we basically book them in their calendar. I sit down with them. I'm like, okay, so put it in your calendar. This Tuesday you're going to be on the next 30 days training and launchpad. The Sunday night you're going to be on the leadership call. The next boot camp happening in this day. Make sure you're free on Saturday. You're going to be on the boot camp. The convention is coming. So I sit down with them and we put the events in their calendar. We make sure they book their convention ticket or the boot camp upcoming, and then after they write their list, we give them the approach script. But I don't just give them the approach script. I actually practice with them the approach script. I have them to ask me questions, to work with me and just assume I'm a prospect. So how do you build like and trust with me? How do you ask, how do you approach me for upcoming tours or to show the video? So I go through all those stuff. So one thing that I want you to pay attention, that I don't just send a video to a new member and say, go watch these videos about approach and watch these videos about next 30 days training and hopefully you're gonna, you know, go make your list, and hopefully you're gonna build this business, and good luck, you know. I see people do that, and I'm like, really, like, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, really? Like, the person says, yeah, they sent me a bunch of videos, and I don't know where they are now. So, you know, that's something that you want to stay away from. You really want to connect them to the community. Let them know that I'm going to connect you to the groups. Let them know that I'm going to send you this. I'm going to introduce you to the My5. Be on the phone call with them. Be on the Skype call with them. Let them know what's the next step is, so they don't get surprised, they don't get upset. And then at the same time, you know, practice with them. Like, I'm just going to add one last thing, and I'm going to pass it back to you. I always use this example, and I say, you know, if you want to teach someone who's never drive a car, you want to teach them, you're the teacher, you know how to drive a car, and you want to teach them. You don't just give them a manual and tell them, go sit behind the wheel and start driving, good luck. You don't do that. Like, the person is going to kill themselves. You sit behind the wheel and let them sit in the passenger seat and let them watch you. So first you do it and let them watch you, then you sit in the passenger seat and then let them sit behind the wheel, and then you teach them step by step how to do it. And once they fail, you got to be there and tell them, don't worry about it, it's all good. You know, you're going to get rejected. So, you know, those are the steps that I do, and I don't go any further than next 3 days training and Launchpad until they start booking appointments, until they start bringing their people. And I'm on every three-way call with them, every three-way call, every person, every tour, I'm with them until they really learn and master the next 3 days, the GWT system, and they know how to handle objections, and they start sponsoring few members. Then I know they're good on their way, and I can start focusing on the next member. So that's what I do. The steps that I do. I know not everybody's are as specific, but you know, different. And this is, you know, 7 years of my trial and error, and I'm still learning. Back to Eddy.
Phenomenal advice, Maria, and I couldn't agree more. You know, you do have to go through your mistakes to learn what you've learned, right? And you know, that's what makes, you know, this conversation even more golden, I guess you could say, because you guys have gone through the mistakes and you know what works and what doesn't work. So thank you so much, Maria. I would like to open up the call to Kafina and Stacey. Do you guys have anything to add? If not, I would be more than glad to move on to the next question. So this question was, when you launch your new LC, what do you do to build their belief in the business or themselves?
Hello, Eddy. This is Kafina.
Hello, Kafina. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. I would just like to add to what Maria said, which is really very important as to how you can, you know, help the new LC believe in themselves and also build up the business and know that they're not in the business alone. Okay. So first of all, what I do once I start with a new LC is to, you know, give them the spirit of speed. We let them know here in Nigeria that speed is of essence when you want to build GWT. Of course, apart from knowing why they're, you know, interested in building the business, we let them know that you need speed. So as soon as possible, we try to get every LC to hit regional ambassador. And of course, we know you have to start from being a diamond. And of course, most Nigerians here love to do diamond because they get the double IA promo when we were doing the business, when the promo was going on then. So everyone wants the best and wants more products, because we love lovely things and very good quality products, which our company GWT has. So we get them to Diamond, and of course, after Diamond, Diplomat, Ambassador. So those are the chains on how they can get to regional ambassador. Why? Because we want everyone to take part in the 2% global sharing revenue, right? So immediately we tell them speed is of essence, get to regional ambassador as soon as possible. After that, we train them and encourage them to come to trainings and boot camps where we talk about the launch pad. The launch pad is the tool that we use earnestly here in Nigeria to let everyone understand how they can grow on the ranks and hit themselves to RA or NA or however they want to grow the business. And of course, we let them also know their My5. We always talk about the My5, and it's so fantastic having that My5. For me, I even have more than 5 actually. Anywhere I can get support and I can get, you know, information, I just chat. And it's so wonderful that all the top leaders, you know, in GWT are always willing to help. Sean Haynes is one fantastic man that anytime you chat, he's ready to answer. He's just ready to give out what he has and, you know, share with you how you can build successfully, which is fantastic. We also here, what we do is we have a presenters forum on WhatsApp where, you know, we train up new LCs to become presenters and trainers here locally where they present in our talk. We even have a session where we train up people to stand in front of the leaders and try to present the opportunity talk so that they get better and better to be able to present the business. And we also let them know that the Fast Start training webinar on Tuesdays is very key. So the moment a new LC starts, we get them to know that there's a Tuesday webinar that they must log into to know the next step on what to do the next 30 days. And of course, what we say and mean by next 30 days, we don't mean that the moment that 30 days elapses, that's it. No, you can start every fresh 30 days and you get maximum success. So that's what we do here. Thank you, Eddie. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kafina. That was golden advice. I really got present to all we have to do at the end of the day is plug people into their My5 and keep them engaged in the community, right? And that's what helps people grow. I want to go to the next question. I want to go ask it directly to Stacey. We'll start with her. Stacey, what type of advice can you give to someone that just started with GWT maybe yesterday or just a few weeks ago? You know, what advice could you give to a new LC?
Okay, so I know this is going to be pretty funny because this is the advice that I got from Ronan. Okay, so the advice he gave me was, Stacey, you need to stuff up as much as you can because it's the only way that you're going to learn. And I mean, he obviously used another word than stuffed up, but I absolutely did everything he said. That's exactly what I would say to the very first LC. You know, go out there and really utilize the system. You know, your 1, 2, 3 process. And build a like and trust and send a link and connect them to a 3-way, but it would be absolutely do everything in your power in your very first 30 days. You want to stuff up as much as you can because he heavily, I'm talking about Ronan, he heavily would say this on every single call whenever I would call through, especially in my very first 30 days. It's like, keep stuffing up. And you know, I'm a person that has a lot of pride and I'm a perfectionist and I don't like to fail, but you know, failure is key to being successful. So I definitely, that would be my very first thing, you know, allow the person or the new LC to understand that you'll be there for them every step of the way, as you should be as a sponsor. Doesn't matter how close or how far away you are from them. I think it's really important that, yeah, for me, I know that's what I tell my very first generation, and they tell their first generation, stuff up as much as you can, because again, it's a learning process and they have to be able to go through the teething problems, you know, like if they're very nervous in communicating with people, they have to be able to go through that motion rather than keep that as a fear, and it stops people from actually doing anything. So that would be my advice, Eddie.
Phenomenal, Stacey. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. You know, Maria, Kafina, do you guys have anything you'd like to add to what Stacey said, or you know, answer the question yourselves? What do you guys? What kind of advice could you give your new LC or a new LC that just started in the past few weeks?
Hello, Eddie.
Yeah, I can hear you, Kafina.
Can I go on or Maria is going?
You could go ahead.
Okay. Same, you know, answer that Stacey gave. You know, I would also do the same. Encourage and advise the LC to take time and learn all they can learn about this amazing business opportunity that GWT offers. And I believe that a well-knowledgeable LC or luxury consultant already has a successful GWT business. All he or she needs to do is to apply this knowledge in the field and start to reap the results as their efforts continue to yield great results. So just like Stacey said, talk yourself, be knowledgeable, ask questions, your My Five are there, learn, read, and that's it. You just get maximum success and fast growth. Back to you, Eddy.
I think what I would say to what the lady says, I think I'm going back to see what kept me in the game for the past 7, 8 years. I had days that I was going to give up, many of those days, especially at the beginning. And what kept me in the business to go through all the pain and, all the failures and all the rejections, what really kept me was don't go for instant gratification. Like, it's not about right now you join and you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's not going to happen like that. If you join next month to make $5,000, I mean, it's not impossible. There are probably some exceptions to make $5,000 in the next month, but it's not something that's going to happen to everybody. So don't go with an expectation that next month you're going to make $5,000 or even $2,000. Now, if you do work hard, most likely you can produce that kind of result, but it's not going to happen to everybody. It is a business, a long-term business. You have to have a long-term vision of minimum 3 to 5 years. You should really look at the evaluation after 3 years, after 2 years, not in the first 6 months. But celebrate the little victories, the little victories, and appreciate the little things that the company does and the upline and the system does. I mean, I remember one of the things that kept me in the business. I was like, you know what, who cares? Yeah, maybe I'm not reaching my goal yet, maybe I'm not making full-time income or even part-time income yet, but hey, look at this product. I get to buy this product at discount price. That's already awesome. Or look, like I got like $10,000 shopping spree for a diamond package. I got like $500 for a silver package. So like, celebrate the little victories. I even remember days that I was like telling myself, even if this business doesn't work for me, the least I get out of this business is a great community and lots of knowledge about business, how to run a business, that I can use this experience and this knowledge that I learned into any traditional business in the future and produce results. So if I wanted to learn these things, I should have I had to go to school and pay so much tuition fee and read textbooks, when now this is like a co-op. I'm learning this in this company for free. So, it's just a matter of understanding the long-term vision and start appreciating and acknowledging the little victories, the little things the company do, the integrity of the company, the leadership, the things that people, and inspire yourself by those things, because this is not a lottery ticket that you're going to make money right away in your first 6 months. So if you're someone in the business, joined 6 months ago or 3 months ago or 4 months ago or even a year ago or 2 years ago, and you haven't produced results, maybe you haven't take any action yet, and B, if you have taken action and you still haven't produced results, it's because you haven't became the person you need to become in order to make income in this business. So you need to personally grow, and this business is doing that to you. It will help you to grow, to become a better leader. So just throughout the process, just like Ramin says in the front stick, happily achieving. So just celebrate the little victories and have fun with it, and then just acknowledge and appreciate the greatness of this community and the little things that you get out of this community. And those little things might not be right now money, might be other values that you're getting out of it. Back to you, Eddy.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Maria. Phenomenal advice. You definitely always want to celebrate those small victories, right? And I want to touch on exactly what you said about, you haven't hit that success yet because maybe you haven't become the person you need to become in order to do that. And, just consider that being part of these calls, helps you become that person. So that's why these calls are so important to be on, because it helps you become the person you need to become in order to achieve what Maria has achieved, or achieve what Kafina has achieved, or achieve what Stacey has achieved as well. So now that you guys gave some phenomenal advice for people, for new LCs that just started a few weeks ago, or maybe just even yesterday, I want to know, what type of advice would you give to someone that has been in the company or the business for quite some time now and is ready to take it to the next leadership level? you know, they want to go above and beyond now. What kind of advice would you give to them? And what I want to do is just open up the call to whoever wants to, you know, answer this question, and just make sure you mention your name so people know who's talking. Hello, ladies. So the question was, you know, what type of advice could you give uh, to someone that's looking to take this to the next level, right? You know, maybe they're a diplomat, or maybe they're not a diplomat yet, and they're looking to become the leader that they need to become, like Maria mentioned, in order to do that. So, Stacey or Kafina, Maria, what type of advice could you give someone that wants to do that?
It's a very broad question, and you know, I would say, Eddie, that as someone who's, let's say they were like, let's say myself, right? Like, I'm still not the national ambassador, not the millionaire, so every day I'm going through all this roller coaster that I'm making a great residual income. I'm happy. I'm making full-time income from this company. I'm traveling the world, but I'm still not satisfied 100% because I'm not the GWT millionaire yet. I'm not a national ambassador, global ambassador. There's so much more for me to accomplish. So what do I do to take my business to the next level? The first thing, like, I appreciate the things that I accomplished all the time. Like, I appreciate and I'm grateful for things that I accomplish. And then I remember the fact that I live the life that I'm living and the income that I'm earning right now, I owe it to people in my team. It's because they're working hard, because they're producing results, because of their leadership. So I'm always available to these people. So if you're a leader who have already a team and you're trying to take your team to the next level, be available for your team and think about what brought you to this point, is other than, you know, the support of your upline and a great company and you work hard, but also the team, your team, their commitment to you. So give back to them. Be available to them. The least you could do for them is to be available for three-way calls, to encourage them, to inspire them, to train them. So, I mean, I noticed when I went to Europe, I noticed being present for your team is very important, but other than being present, let them to participate. The other thing is, you can't expect people to do things that you're not doing. So you got to get out and get like dirty, like really put your sleeves up and start prospecting. You start building the business. You gotta bring your own numbers up, like do your 3 to 5 tours per week, you know, do your three-way calls, do your follow-up, get people in the business, launch new VDMs personally. You know, the team not going to build your dreams. You're building your own dreams. They're building their own dreams. So they only do what you do. They don't do what you say. So other than you support them and you're available for them and you do trainings for them, you got to make sure you're keeping up with your own personal numbers. You know, have a big vision for your team. Share and communicate your vision and your dreams with your team constantly, and take personal development courses. I'm going to tell you, you are not going to be able to be a good leader if you are personally not growing and not expanding. Read, learn audios. There's so many PD work online on YouTube, but also participate in the courses. Participate in those PD courses that are outside of the MLM industry, and so you become a good leader that you can inspire your team. So those are the things that I can say, but I'm sure Stacey and Fina, they can, you know, add to that.
Yeah, phenomenal. Thank you so much, Maria. And I would love to hear from Stacey or Kafina. You know, what can you tell someone that wants to take this to the next level and is ready to just start building, you know, very rapidly? What advice could you give to them?
Hello, Eddie. This is Kafina speaking.
Awesome. Go ahead, Kafina.
Okay, I would just like to add to what Maria said. You know, it is easy to attain a leadership position, you know, especially here in GWT. You can launch your VDM as a diamond, and in the next 1 hour, you can get 3 diamonds, and then boom, you're a diplomat, and you're already in the leadership position, and, you know, you move on like that. You know, not necessarily, you know, building so much hard work to get to that position. It happens, all right? But then you're a leader. When you don't have followers, who will you lead? So my own advice to leaders, or to myself as well, who has attained a leadership position in GWT, what I would suggest and advise is it is very vital for every leader in GWT to humbly. Humility is very key when you're dealing with team and other people around the world that you're in the same business with. So humbly hold the hands of each team member, either individually or as a group, when the need arises, okay? And that, of course, confirms to what Maria said, that you have to be there for your team all the time. And in order for the team to move on a higher success level, you need to do that. You need to always be there for your team. Without your team members, you are just a single person trying to build a business with a very big chance of making it. So you need this team, you need them to build and to take you to maximum success. So as a leader who wants to take your business to the next level, you need to humbly support your team and be there for them all the time. Thank you. Back to you, Eddy.
Thank you so much, Kafina. And I love how you and Maria stay very consistent with your advice. And, you know, I remember hearing a quote, I can't remember who it's from, but it goes like this, you know, products don't build businesses, but people are the ones that build businesses. And you guys are a great example of that, and that's why you've been able to grow your business to how many people you've been able to grow it to, because you understand that concept of people build businesses versus product. Stacey, did you have some advice for people that are ready to take this to the next level? Did you want to add onto anything that Kafina said or Maria?
Yeah. I mean, like the ladies have pretty much nailed it on the head, but I just wanted to reiterate something both of these wonderful ladies have actually explained. It's, yes, every single person in your team is an asset. An asset, I'm saying. Everybody has to understand everyone's an asset, and you must be there to be able to lead them. But and point, if an hour to become recognized you automatically a leader, but leaders need to train how to train other people as well. So I find is that we have, and this is getting completely real, I find that there are a lot of people, I can tell, and my team, we want to make sure that we're encouraging our team to volunteer for, to get up and coach and train and train new trainers and peer and different webinars to be able to train. It's so important that train. And I suppose that's where the leaders must come in and be able to explain to them, encourage those that are shy or not wanting to get up to train. We have to understand that, we have to be able to duplicate what we're learning as well. We don't want to, I don't want to be seeing personally, for me, to see a portion of my team not being able to grow just because there's, maybe that level, maybe 2, maybe 3 people deep from me are not wanting to actually step up to the plate and volunteer to be able to train people globally or even train people within their own local areas. So that's really the only thing that I had to add to it. So if you're listening to this, I would strongly recommend, if you're wanting to take your team to the next level, that you have to volunteer. You've got to be able to make yourself available, so that if your people are seeing that, they're going to want to do it as well. So it's really important, especially in relation to the duplication process. So back to you, Eddy.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Kafina, and thank you, Maria. That was golden advice, especially for even someone like myself. I'm ready to take this to the next level and become an ambassador, become a regional ambassador, go all the way up to GA even, right? And that advice really hit home with me, and I really got present to a lot of things there, and I hope everyone else did too. I'm trying to take notes and ask questions at the same time, because I understand that I probably won't remember this afterwards. And that's why it's important to take notes. So guys, make sure you're taking notes because these ladies are sharing phenomenal advice. Now I want to go to another question. You know, this probably happened from time to time all over the company. Maybe some people have gone through this, and I bet some people are going to already ask this. And I think it's a great question to ask. So the question is, how does someone, for instance, how do you guys handle a situation where a prospect was signed up by another LC, and that prospect is someone that you've been working with and following up with, but ended up signing up with another LC? What's in that situation? What advice could you give, or what have you done in the past that has worked with you? So I'll open up this question again to whoever wants to jump on it first.
I'm gonna go first with this because I know it's funny because myself and Fina came actually across it's not an issue. So here's the thing, you know, people make this very heavy and they think like, wow, what a crime happened. It's not a big deal. The fact is, the more the company going to get bigger, the more the company get bigger, especially in a local market and now on social media, the more it's going to get bigger and the more it become the Louis Vuitton, it become the Rolex that everybody know, the more this going to happen. So be ready for it. So take the heaviness and the significance of it, take it away and deal with it without emotion, okay? So that's the first thing. So this thing happened between myself and Fina. Actually, it actually didn't happen between us personally, but it happened between our downline, and we had to deal with it. So here's my response to that, how I deal with it, and I, again, trial and error for the past 7-8 years. I've done it in a significant way. I made a big deal out of it, and it didn't work out. But the way I see it, after many times it happened, and it is going to happen more and more because the company is getting larger and larger. So, here's what I say. At the end of the day, me as a consultant care. I mean, let's take the prospect away, okay? I personally, and this is my personal feedback on this, the way I see it, I care more about that consultant in the business who's been in the business for years and done so much in the company for years, and we know each other, and most likely will become, if not already, a leader. I care about my relationship and my integrity and my credibility with that consultant more than having that prospect. Because let's face it, that prospect that's now bouncing between the two teams is, who knows if this person actually going to join and do something with the business. Who knows if even if they join, if they're not going to quit the next day. So my credibility and my integrity and my leadership is, you know, more important, more valuable than putting myself in trouble with another leader or with another team in the company or with another consultant. Like, I don't want to put myself in that situation. So when a prospect is bouncing between the two members, the two teams, the first thing I say is, who is the upline or the person who's trying to prospect this person that we already are, it's already our prospect. So I find, and then I find their my 5. So I don't even go to the LC. I actually go to the my 5. So let's see, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. Nigeria is now the hot spot. Everybody trying to find prospect in Nigeria. So obviously I had a team member from Eddy, and they had a prospect in Nigeria when the corporate were there. So when I find out, when the team reported to me that there's this prospect is being sponsored or getting prospected by people in Nigeria, I didn't try to find the person. What I did, I find the upline. I went to Abdul Razak, I went to the upline, I went to Fina, and I said, guys, listen, there is this person with this name. We send it to you guys, and I just wanted to know what is going on, what's the situation, if there is a relationship, in any case that this person already had a relationship with the person who's prospecting them, or if they already done the tour, because prospect never tell the truth. I learned this for my entire 8 years, that prospects don't tell the truth. They don't know the community, they don't know the leadership. They're just trying to kind of like get in and get something out of this company and see where they're going to get the most they're going to get the most benefits, right? So they, most of the time, they're going to cut it off, or they're going to change the situation, they're going to lie, all that stuff. So I don't even listen to the prospect, what they say. I listen to whatever they say, and then I go to the upline. I'm like, if there is a situation, if there is somebody who already showed them the business, or if there is any family blood relationship between, so you know what, by all means, even though my team members or myself, we show them the business, you can have it. In these situations like this, you really have to step into your leadership. The two things that you're going to adopt, well, the three things that you're going to adopt, write it down. Situations like this is a little bit tough. It can destroy your credibility. It can destroy your integrity in a community that it's going to take a long time for you to rebuild it. Okay, so you don't want to destroy those relationships. So three things that you have to be present and you have to adopt when you're dealing with situations like this. First one, integrity. So don't lie. Just really communicate whatever is you're hearing. Okay. Second thing, generosity. Be generous. So when I go to Abdul Razak or Fina and I say, my team members told me that they already sent a prospect to you guys, and it looks like the prospect been signed up by a Nigerian team, my thing is, I'm going to let you guys know, if there is any, so I'm generous, like I'm adopting generosity. I'm telling them, listen, if there is any relationship or if there is any chance that you guys already shown the business, please let me know. By all means, you can have it. So that's where you have to do that. You have to do that. You have to let go of that one member. Okay, so generosity, integrity, so your lead, and think of the future. It's not about now you sign up a member, it's about what's going to happen in the future, because when you break that relationship, that trust with another team member, with another leaders, and these leaders are going to be the LCG members, they're going to be the regional and national ambassadors. When you break that trust with them in the company, then it's very, 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 very hard to rebuild it. It's not one LC who knows if they're going to even stay in the business or not, is not worth it. So integrity, your generosity, and responsibility. Be responsible while you're in this business. Okay, be really responsible as a leader and as an upline, as an individual. So that's how I deal with it. I go to the upline. I tell them here's this is the situation. I heard about it from my downline or happened to myself, and I just wanted you guys to look into it and see if there is anything that I don't know, let us know. And by all means, if you have to have it, you know what, go ahead and have it. And sometimes there's really and at the end of the day, it's the prospect. If the prospect want to join a person or a team, it doesn't matter how, if you're the first person on the planet Earth show them the business, at the end of the day, if the prospect want to join that person, you have to let them join that person. And that's it. You have to let it go. Because at the end of the day, if we force them to join your team and they're not happy with you, they wanted to join somebody else, they're going to do nothing in your team and they're going to leave. They're going to cancel. So, the only reason I go to the upline, just to make sure the integrity of the situation is present, so things are not like people are not going around and stealing or fooling other people. So I just talk to the upline of that team and I let them know that I'm not attached to it, we're not attached to it. If you guys have to have it, you can have it, not a problem. And if they get to come out and become generous, like this time, like the Nigerian team, I was amazed by the way Fina and Nigerian team they handled it. They told me right away, they're like, oh, don't worry, we already reported to the office, we already told them, and the member already the position is canceled and they're already going to sign up in your team. So before even I bring it up, they already discovered the issue and they already took care of it. So I was amazed by the level of their integrity of this team, and I was like, I acknowledged it so much, and it just gained so much respect and trust for Nigerian team and for Nigerian leadership. And it just built a connection, like the bond that I want to work with these guys because they have so much integrity. So that's my take on that. And now I'm going to pass it to it. But I know this is a very sensitive issue, and people are going to come across more and more. But again, when you come across a topic like that, as something like that happen, go to your upline, qualify upline. Who is your My5? They have to be at least ambassadors. If they're not ambassadors, they don't count as My5 qualified, especially for topics like that. Go to your qualified My5, tell them what happened, and then let them deal with it. Stay out of it. If you're not one of the qualified My 5, if you're not an ambassador or regional, stay out of topics like this. Let the My 5 to deal with it, and they know how to deal with it. Okay, and then the upline, they will take care of it by communicating with the other team. Back to you, Eddy.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. That's, you know, like you mentioned, it is a topic, a very sensitive topic that I think a lot of people wanted to get clear. And, you know, for me, I really got clear on exactly just going to my upline, conversing with them, seeing what we can work out. But at the end of the day, you know, the last thing you want, right, is to be negative about the whole thing, like you said, Maria, because then that just ruins your vibe, which could ruin your business. And not just that, could ruin the community, right? And at the end of the day, I love what Ramin's created here is the culture of family. You know, why would you want to ruin something like that? So thank you so much, Maria. I know you covered a lot, so what I want to do is I want to bring this another new question to Kafina or Stacey. And the question is, how do you guys deal with negative family members or friends? I know that as an entrepreneur, you know, that's something that's inevitable. You know, you're always going to have those quote-unquote haters that are going to enter into your life. So how do you guys deal with that? How do you guys deal with people down your back, you know, always saying negative things or just doing negative things to try to ruin your energy? So I'll start with Kafina. How do you deal with that?
Hello, Eddy. Can you hear me okay? Kafina
Yes,
speaking.
loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you for the question. At the end of the day, for me, I'm somebody that is very focused, and once I believe in something, I run with it. I don't wait for no family member. If they believe in it with me, fine, we roll it together. A friend, fine, we roll it together. If you don't, fine, I move on. I don't waste time. Now, when I started GWT about 2 years ago, I got quite a lot of friends on, and a few dropped out of the business pathway, you know. I tried to get them back on. I encouraged them as well, but they told me, look, they cannot do the business. And I saw it through in their eyes that they cannot pull the business through. So I just wish them good luck. And I just hope they find something else to do. And I continued my journey, and I'm hoping that I'll be one of the 1,000 millionaires that Ramin is going to produce. So that's it. My family members have shared the opportunity gladly. My brothers, my sisters, my aunties are in the business, and they're building gradually and coming up. But all negative people around me, I just push them away. No negativity around me. I just focus. I just move. And when I feed myself with positive things and positive people around me, I just keep moving and moving. That's why I plug myself into the trainings and weekly, you know, boot camps and tours, and I read and listen to audio tapes from other, you know, top leaders around the world in network marketing as well. So I don't want to feed myself with negative people. Naturally, I don't even keep negative people as friends, you know. So once you're with me, fine. If you're not with me and we're not like-minded, we're not thinking alike, we don't have anything in common, I have no business with you. So that's it. I handle it that way, and I have no apologies for any negative person around me. I move on. That's it, because I don't want to be pulled back.
I love that, Kafina. I could see or could hear the energy on how passionate you are about just surrounding yourself around positivity. And that's why, you know, one of the greatest advice that I've ever gotten on my journey is just surround yourself and engage yourself in positivity and get rid of all negativity. So you really just, you know, touched on that like right on the nail. So thank you so much for that, Kafina. And how about for you, Stacey? How do you deal with negative people and people, you know, whether that's family members or even just friends?
I want to firstly say yes, 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 Kafina, absolutely. I'm with you, Soul Sister. That is definitely something that I know I've done. You know, what I've learned, Eddy, is that, you know, you become the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Now, if you're going to surround yourself with negative people, you're going to be negative. If you're going to surround yourself with positive people, you're going to be a positive person. But you need to, and I know that I do this for me, myself, I've had to eradicate so many people around me, especially, you know, and it's sad, especially my family members, because the weight of their negativity weighed down on me like a ton of bricks, or like 100 elephants or whatever. But honestly, I couldn't deal with that, because I couldn't deal with the weight of that on my shoulders, because the fact of the matter is that I'd be going absolutely nowhere if I allowed the negativity of others to get inside my head, you know. So I do exactly what Kafina does. I absolutely just, I've got laser focus as well, and I just keep focusing on the end goal. Look, I tell myself every single day, in order for me to be able to, you know, get to where I need to be, you know, I have a strong why, and I know exactly the path that I want to be going in, but I, for myself, I have to actually literally tell myself that I will not allow anybody to be able to tell me that I'm doing something bad, or that my company is bad, or that, you know, anything negative. I literally just, I axe it, I kick it to the curb, and I keep going on with my day. And you know, I actually went through a really bad experience and New Year's, actually, and it was in regards to a relationship. Now, I can understand, to some of the listeners on here, you know, some of you are seasoned LCs, some of you might not be. You know, for the new LCs, I suppose this might be a little bit confronting, hearing exactly my words, but what I'm saying is that, you know, you guys, for me in New Year's, you know, you might have a friendship that you've had for like 15, 20 years, whatever it is. Well, for me, I had a friendship of about 17 years absolutely completely go down the drain, because you know, they didn't like what I was doing, you know. And in all honesty, as sad as I was, you know, because 17 years is a very, very long time, as sad as it was, you know, I had to really pick up my balls and you know, look at my situation and think, you know, at the end of the day, who else is going to be able to provide the dreams that I want for my family? Who else is it? It's only going to be yourself, you know. So in order for you to be able to get you out of that position, you actually have to come away from the negativity, block it out, and push it to, you know, push it to the side and keep going, because again, you should really only be on should be connecting and surrounding yourselves with people on the same path as you, or that think as positively as you do, because you're only going to grow from that. Nothing grows in a negative zone, you know. So yeah, back to you, Eddy.
Phenomenal. Ladies, I love your passion on just really getting rid of any negative people in your life. And I can't say it, you know, I can't stress it more. It's so important to just focus on positivity, because when it comes to building success with GWT, you know, it's not going to be the easiest thing sometimes, right? And what makes it difficult are those negativity, or those negative people in your life. And if you can build a barrier, a posture, just like Stacey and Kafina have, and even Maria, then you're going to be all right, because you're not going to listen to those people. And I love how you said this, Stacey. This is, you know, especially for new people, like new LCs, because, you know, it does sound confronting for you. It's so important to just keep that in mind, that you have to stick with the positivity versus being, you know, surrounded around just a bunch of negativity. So I want to give Maria a chance too. If you want to add anything to it, Maria, go right ahead. If not, I can also jump to the next question.
Well, family member, we all have them. I don't think if there's any successful person on this planet who, when they started to have a vision and they started to have a dream, they had all the member of their family members be agree and supportive to them. I don't think if there is a single person. I think what makes you successful is the obstacles, the heartbreak of the closest people who are around you, and they become a challenge and they become an obstacle and they give you a hard time and they don't want to support you. So if you get to go through that barrier and pass that barrier, you're going to be successful. You're going to be Steve Jobs. You're going to be Gandhi. You're going to be Dr. King. These are the people who got heartbroken and got rejected from the closest people in their family. So network marketing and GWT is no different. You are going to have obstacles, and you are going to have your wife, your husband, your sister, your brother, your mom going to be against it. They're going to tell you this is a scam, I'm not going to work with you. So the point is that you're going to ask yourself, do I need their approval? When I want to get married, do I need my family and my sister's approval? If they say this person is not a good person, am I going to break up? So I mean, your family members they are going to make a negative statement about anything and everything you do. You know, you pick a husband, they make a negative comment. They're going to get judgmental. You're going to get a job, they're going to get judgmental. You're going to put a dress on yourself, they're going to get judgmental. The most judgmental people in my life are my family. Every time I buy something, I pick something for myself, they're always going to tell you. And those are also, there's not always coming from animosity, sometimes come from love. They are the one who can tell you, oh, it doesn't really look good on you, or I don't think if this is the best career, I don't think if this, if GWT is going to work for you. So the point is that, are you going to be stubborn enough like I am and say, thank you for your opinion, I didn't ask for your opinion, I'm going to do it anyways? Okay, so I don't need their approval. So when my brother, who still is negative, when he make a comment about GWT, my answer is, did I make a comment about your job? Or did I talk about your boss? Or did I talk about your girlfriend? Or did I talk about how you live your life? So what gives you right to judge and evaluate my life? It's my choice. I'm going to do it. I don't need your approval. I just was sharing with you, this is what I'm doing. If you need anything, let me know. If you decided to do, let me know. If it's not for you, thanks for your opinion. Thank you for telling me that it's not for you. I don't want to hear your negative opinion. And I move on. And if they keep continuing talking, I cut them off. I had to cut some of these people from my life for a few years. Some of my cousins, I'm like, you're too negative. Your negative energy is interrupting my life. So I'll talk to you in a few years when I'm like where I need to be. And now I meet them again. I go to their parties, and they're like, "Oh, are you still in that thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, that thing actually make me six-figure income." And while you have to clock in into your job and clock out every day, I'm actually enjoying traveling the world, and I'm spending time in the most exotic beaches in the world. That thing actually made me money. So you got to have that kind of attitude if you want to be successful. If you're seeking if you're seeking people's approval, this is not the right place for you. You're not going to get anywhere in anything you're going to do, because all the time somebody going to have some negative opinion and judgment about something that you're choosing to do for your life. And then if you're seeking people's approval, you have to give up there. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maria. Again, couldn't said it better myself. You really touched on just get rid of negative people and focus on positivity, right? So I know it's been past an hour, guys, and I want to respect everyone's time, and I want to thank everyone also for continuing to be on the call, because it is important to be on these calls. And I could go on for hours, keep the call going, but obviously, like I said, I want to respect everyone's time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask one final question that I've really been dying to ask, and I will go to everyone's comments and questions as well after this. Everyone touches on this. So the next question I wanted to ask, and the final question is, tell us a little bit about team members who always make excuses for not, they can't make it to meetings or tours or branding parties. I know that a bunch of people are probably dying to hear what you guys do, or how you even relate to anyone that does that. So the question is, tell us about team members and how you handle them about making excuses, or maybe how do you bring up their inspiration, or how do you inspire them to start going to team meetings, start doing these calls, or even training their own teams. So I'll start with Stacey. How do you go about doing that?
Hey, Eddie. Okay, so for me, I think it's important that firstly we check ourselves first before approaching team members. Sometimes you know, I know I've seen it in the past where some leaders have gone to their, you know, their downline and just rattled off, hey, you know, you didn't make it and everything like that. I think as leaders, you have to also be mindful to be able to ask questions before shooting your mouth very quickly, because that could shoot you in the foot. So what I mean by saying that is, you know, you want to be very sincere and ask them first, you know, why wasn't it that you made, how come you didn't make it to the tour, or is there a reason why, was there something going on, is there something that you need help with at home, you know, being very sincere with them, I find would be the very first thing that I would do if I was asking a team member that, only because, you know, I've shot myself in the foot many times before, and this is the advice I'm giving, is that, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, you want to ask the question and see if there's anything wrong with them. Maybe they need some help with something. Maybe they didn't even know, you know, before really shooting your mouth off. But, you know, to be able to, if they're coming up with excuses, you know, for me personally, I don't accept excuses, but I don't operate. I sort of, actually, it's a bit of a hard one. I don't really allow that to get to me. You know, if they're giving me excuses, I move right along. You know, I let them know where we're at, but to be able to build them up, to get them to where they need to be to come to tours, you know, I would obviously let them know and say, you know, let's have a discussion. Maybe you want to chuck it in your My5. Maybe you need to have a discussion with myself personally, or maybe Ronan or something like that, to be able to build your confidence, or build the team spirit, whatever it is, I'd go through that avenue. But I personally don't deal to excuses very well, but I am sympathetic to their stories as well. So I do listen, and I think it's important as leaders that we do listen to our seats, because it could be, you know, it could be a life or death thing, that the reason why they're not actually turning up, you know. So we want to be very mindful and listen to their reasons before shooting your mouth off. But yeah, that's it from me, Eddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stacey, for that phenomenal advice. I honestly could not agree more. You know, you really touched that well, so thank you for that. Kafina, do you want to touch on that topic too? You know, what do you do with, you know, LCs that make excuses? And, you know, let's face it, there's tons of them out there. For me, myself, the past 3 years, I've always come across people that make excuses, and I was even one of those people. So what advice do you have to give to people on that topic there? Or Maria, if you want to, you know, mention what advice you would give, and one of you ladies that want to add on to that, go right ahead.
I thought Fina wanted to run out, so I wanted to hear Fina's answer on this. If Fina you want to go on first? Did we lose Fina, or she's still on the call? You might have
Can you
lost.
hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, I muted myself. I didn't know. Okay, so thank you, Eddy, for the question and the opportunity again. I want to agree totally with what Stacey just said. You want to ask them, you want to find out nicely what is the excuse or what is the reason why they haven't been coming for trainings and tours and, you know, things like that. First of all, one of the advice I would like to share or give is, in the beginning, the moment you get LCs started with the business with you, you need to be able to build up a strong team spirit or culture where they know that, you know, they're together with you in the business, and you know, they have great support like we mentioned in the beginning. Because, you know, you have to keep focusing as a leader or as a team head, you know, focus and keep doing what you're doing, going on the tours and the trainings, never miss anyone except for, you know, reasons where it's unavoidably, you know, you have to be away, you know, because people in your team are watching you all the time. They draw strength from you. I also had moments where, I was a little bit like moving backwards as well. But once in a while, I also keep myself up and say, look, you brought people into the business. They're watching you. You can't slow down right now at the moment. So you have to keep going on. Like Abdulrazak said to us early this year, he said, look, team, no retreat, no surrender. We just have to keep building because people are watching. So like Stacey said, ask them, show concern. When they miss the tours and trainings once, okay, twice, 3 times, then I think you have to pay them a personal visit where, like Stacey said, have a one-on-one and find out why and encourage them to build their confidence back again, and they will be back on. However, remember, as a leader, you have to keep building because they are watching you. What you do is what your team will do. So keep on and they will come back. Thank you, Eddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kafina and Stacey. Maria, I'd like to open the call for you as well if you had a comment that you wanted to quickly share about that topic as well.
Yes, it's one of my favorite topics because I finally learned, I think this is one of my learning process discovery was last year, but I learned network marketing, you're not building a team, you're building a community. So, when you're building a community and the members of the community, they have to respect each other, they have to work together, you have to be a good team player and then keep reminding your team members that they need to be a good team player. And most of us as a human being, we're not made to be a good team player. We're made to be a good individual and get everything done ourselves. So it's very difficult. One of the biggest challenges I see, especially leaders who are ambassadors, one of their strength is to produce results, but then it's their weakness to play as a team player, and it is my weakness as well. I rather do things myself than work as a team. So you just did something that you have to work on it. So I would say to keep the spirit in the team and the community. Make sure you guys, if you're building locally, make sure you have your team event. So there has to be some sort of gatherings. So if you guys are doing in a locally, if you're building in your city and you have a team, so make sure you guys have gathering once a week or twice a week. You're sharing food. You're having people like freely share their experience for the week. Bring on a positive, great, inspirational topic to talk about. The best inspirational topic that you want to have your team to talk about is their why and the reason, what excites them. So get your team to really share what excites them with each other, what they accomplish, what's next for them. Maybe you want to do some meditation, maybe you want to do visualization, maybe you want to do a secret day. So you want to do those team gatherings, that community gathering that people come and brainstorm and share stuff. You got to really keep eye on people don't get into drama. So you got to be a good leader to like stop any negativity or any drama, but just make sure there's always a positive energy, a positive inspirational stuff happening while you're giving them training, so it doesn't become all training. And then make sure, like as a community, and I know women, female are really good at this, as a community, when you're building a community, make sure there are values, so people are respecting each other, there's integrity, there's no gossiping, there's all that stuff. So I build it internationally, and I'm really managing my energy. If I go to events and parties and places that there's gossip, there's negativity, there's a bad energy, I honestly pull myself out. So I'm like, I'm not participating because there's more negativity than I can handle. So I just stay out of it. But when I travel, to different places, I try to create that community part with people. And when you go so internationally that you can't do that community gatherings in a local places, then we do it online. So that's one of the purpose of all these groups, all these Facebook groups, chat groups, is the purpose of community gathering. The like-minded people, they get together, they talk. I love when I see there's a conversation happening in a group, either a group chat or a group, and then there's a lot of interactions. And interactions are not only posting videos and posting links and here, learn from this, but it's like actually people are actually shouting out to each other. They're like, hey, that's awesome, I love that, thank you for posting this, or I like this, or I like that, or thank you, great job, I love how you did this, I love, those those conversations where people are interacting with each other and people are adding energy and adding value to the community and they're sharing positive, great stuff. Here, I find this. I thought this is an amazing to share with you guys. I thought this video is good for meditation, for generating wealth. This on that topic, I thought this one is awesome. Oh, I find this page. Oh, thank you so much for that. I really love what you said. You know, things like that. And this is one of the purpose of creating these groups, because you want to have that spirit of a community. The more there's interaction, the more people are free, they're sharing their ideas, they're communicating what excites them. Not, I'm not talking about two people talking to each other, how is your mom, how is your dad. That's not what I'm talking about. The interactions between two people, how is your mom, I saw your mom yesterday, that shouldn't happen in a group chat, but those should be private conversations. But when people are interacting and you're really feeding into the energy of the group, that's what create the spirit of the community, and move forward the conversation and get all the new members excited. They're like, oh, this is a great community. Just to give you an example, I joined this group for all the ladies who want to look great and they want to be fit. And I saw this spirit that all the women, somebody come and says, oh, I have this issue, for example, and then like there's 40 messages, oh, use this is going to work, this is amazing, this, oh, thanks, I love, like that is this. And I'm a new member, got added to this group. I'm like, this is a powerful group. I want to be part of this group. I want to get to know these ladies. These ladies are awesome people. Everybody's are interacting, talking, acknowledging, appreciating, talking about something, adding value to the community. You guys do that, whether if it's a present group, like a group locally in your city, or whether if it's a chat group. You guys do that, you're going to see that the group is heating. People want to be part of it. People stay in it when there's an event happening. People want to show up. There has to be interactions. We have right now 150 people on this call. Why we have 150 people on this call, but normally Sunday night calls it's only 70 people, only 60 people, only 40 people? The reason is because this is an interaction call, right? There's an interaction call. If there's only one person talking and on a PowerPoint showing a training, it's awesome. That's great. Nothing's wrong with that. But when it's an interaction, people are having like a talk show. There's an interaction and we're interacting with the audience. That's where the community get created. And that's where the people want to participate, and the new members who get added, they want to be part of it. They want to follow the conversation, not the lecture. So that's why I like when it comes my turn for doing training, I'm like, I'm not doing training. I'd rather get like 3-4 other people on the call, and we're going to have interaction. We're going to learn from each other and move the conversation, like move it forward rather than having one person lecturing everyone. So I know I get to go so long. So back to you, Eddy.
No, Maria, thank you so much. Thank you, all you ladies. I love how you touched on how crazy and great these calls can be, right? Because you're interacting, and I remember doing one of these with Leor when I used to do my webinars, and it was great. I had so many people on the call, and people got a lot of value out of it. And like even for myself right now, I'm super happy that Maria reached out to me to host this call, because I was so excited and I instantly said yes, knowing that you three were going to be on this call, and you guys are powerhouses. I have a lot of respect for all of you, and I know I always ask each and every one of you guys for advice, which I truly appreciate, and I hope everyone else has a lot of gratitude towards this call, because you guys shared million-dollar advice. Literally, if I'm glad it was free, but I would pay millions and millions of dollars for this call. So guys, I want to thank everyone for being on the call tonight. I know everyone had a lot of questions. We won't be able to get to them today because there are literally a ton of questions. I know you guys have been dying to ask these wonderful ladies. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take down these questions and we're going to be asking them on the next call, which is going to be happening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not too sure what time that is around the world, but you can definitely just check that out on Google. So it's happening at 9:15, and it's going to be with some other leaders, so make sure you definitely tune into that call, because that's going to be another insane call. And again, I just want to thank everyone for being on the call, and I want to give a huge, 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 huge thanks to Stacey, Kafina, and also Maria. You guys, like I mentioned over and over again, you guys are powerhouses. I want to thank you so much for that. And I do want to open up the call if you guys want to, make some quick comments before we end the call for everyone. I'll open the floor up for any of you ladies.
Yeah, Eddie, are you there?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's Stacey here, and I just wanted to also put out there, we're so grateful to both yourself and Hadass for, hosting our call tonight. You've done an absolutely wonderful job. I know I'd like to pick you for next month's Crossfire. You both did exceptionally well, and to my soul sisters, Kafina and Maria, you know what? This was an honor to be able to have this call with you and share our golden nuggets that we have happening in our own hometowns and stuff. But, I wanted to definitely reiterate exactly what Eddie was saying. We've got another call happening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know that's 10:15 a.m. That's roughly just a little under 5 hours away from now. We definitely want to be able to get to see everybody on the call because, you're going to have you actually have a phenomenal lineup, and, these questions can be asked there. Again, we've got our National Ambassador, Abdul Razak, all the way from the Nigerian market, going to be on the call. We've got Maria Ghadery as well, and we also have Ronan Trifon on the call, hosted by our diplomat, Asaf Robert, who's down in Melbourne, Australia. So definitely want to be able to get on these calls. As you know, this Crossfire is absolutely, I believe, is a game changer for those LCs who are, sort of still trying to find their feet, and even for those LCs that have been, in the business for quite some time now. Definitely get yourself registered for the Sunday Night Leadership going down at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you again, Hadass and Eddie, Maria, Kafina. I'll see you ladies very soon. Oh, and Eddie, you're not a lady, you're a man.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacey. You've been wonderful. I love you. Everything about you. You definitely, touched on a lot of topics that I know people got value out of. So thank you so much, Stacey. And let's take it to Kafina to close the call as well. Did you want to make any comments to the people that are on the call?
Hello?
Hello, Kafina.
Yeah, hello, Eddie. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, loud and clear. Did you want to touch on any comments about the call to the audience? Hello, Kafina, can you hear us?
No, you went blank for a minute.
Okay, there you go. So I was just asking if you wanted to touch on any, comments to the audience before we close the call.
Yeah, I think we have some internet issue with Kafina in Nigeria. But I just wanted to say thank you, Eddie. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Kafina. Thank you, Stacey. 5 a.m. in the morning, and you're on this call. That shows your commitment. Thank you so much, Stacey. We appreciate your commitment. Thank you so much, Kafina. We appreciate your commitment. I know you guys took time out of your busy schedule to be on this call, so we really appreciate this. And I'm looking forward to our next Crossfire call, and all the questions that wasn't get answered today will be covered on the next call. So don't forget to be on this call. Don't miss it. Promote it to all your team members. And thank you so much, Eddie, for being on this call with us.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Again, thank you, all of you guys, everyone on the call, and as well as you three ladies. You've been wonderful, and I got so much knowledge from this call tonight, or today, I guess, today and tonight, and in the morning for Australia. So guys, we're going to close the call now. Like Maria mentioned, we will be sharing the questions you have on the next Crossfire call. Make sure you get on it. And anyone on your team that missed this call, send them the recording and make sure they get on the next call, because there is so much value that's shared on these calls. So again, thank you, everyone. And finally, to the billion.
Thank
To the billion.
to the billion. Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing, amazing, amazing call.